FHWP to have given me this stage. May I please kindly request all the panelists to come up so that I can introduce Madam Shaklo, Madam Ina. We are running a little behind our schedule, so I'll have to run past through this session, but I will give adequate time. Madam, you can take the center stage, please. In this era of COVID-19, where we were all logged onto our screens with very less physical interaction happening between ourselves, the buzzword of technology has taken over us. The whole world is transforming, people talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, tech tools, playing more and more active role in our day-to-day lives. How can medical value travel stay far away from this transformation? More medical value travel companies and hospitals are transiting themselves to being technology-driven from being orthodox manual companies. And the advent of COVID has only sped up this whole process. But having said so, in last 2 years, we have also noticed that words like immunity, natural remedies have also gained steam. Again, thanks to COVID, that we have recognized that even our orthodox and traditional medicine system has a very important role to play in our day-to-day life. In fact, if you would know that allopathy, the word allo itself means alternate. So it will be not so good to call the traditional medicine as alternate medicine. We should call them the traditional medical systems. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this knowledge session on rising role of technology and alternate medicine in medical value travel. My name, allow me to repeat it again, is Abhik Moitra. I'm the General Secretary of FHWP and President of HBG Medical Assistance, the company that I founded about 11 years ago. I, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be your modest host for this session. Modest, because with me today on stage, we have some big driving forces behind medical value travel. Starting, we will be joining, Madam Upasana Arora will be joining us online. She is the chair of Health Committee of SCPC. She will be joining online. We have actually Vaidya, and the Vaidya is a term which we use in Ayurveda for the word doctor. So we have Vaidya Sumit Goel. I hope I have introduced you rightly, sir. We also have with us, and Vaidya Sumit Goel is going to represent the Ministry of Ayush for us. With that, I will also formally welcome on stage few lovely ladies with some impeccable portfolios that they manage. We have Mrs. Shaklo Sadirova, who represents Ministry of Health of Uzbekistan. That's the lady in red right there. We have Ms. Ina, who is co-founder of MedTour Club Ukraine, and she's also the Vice President of International Association of Physicians in Medical Tourism. She's from Ukraine. We also have some poster boys of Indian medical value travel. Okay, and poster boys, you can see how handsome they are. They're sitting right there, one of them in tie, red tie. We have Rajiv Taneja, who also happens to be the Vice President of FHWP and also the Managing Director for Global Care. We have Ishan Dodiwala, who is the co-founder for Medjourn. We have Danish Ahmed. Danish, congratulations for getting funded. He was one of the first medical value travel companies, one of the first medical value travel companies to get VC funding. Congratulations, Danish. Danish represents hospitals. So this is the stage that we have. And if I may kindly call upon Mrs. Can we connect Madam Upasana Arora online, please? if she can start. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good to see everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we would like your welcome remarks with the focus on this particular question. What are your observation of the medical value travel space and how SAPC views medical value travel as one of the driving forces for healthcare in India in times to come?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mitra. I welcome everybody on behalf of SCPC. I could not come because I was not well. I was down with COVID. That is why I'm not there. Otherwise, I was supposed to be there. So SCPC has a vision for medical value travel. And as everybody knows that India has proven this thing in this tough time, in this time of COVID-19, we have done a tremendous job in vaccination drive. As everybody knows that India's population is really very, very big. We have 135 crores people and still we are able to manage this vaccination drive. And first dose, I think 80% has already taken. Same time, if you see our vaccination, we are able to manufacture vaccine in India. So once again, we have proved that India is the best place for healthcare facilities. As we are able to provide holistic healing kind of thing, as you already said that allopathy means alternate medicine. So I should say that modern medicine, as well as our Ayurveda, Unani, our Ayush department, they are doing really tremendous job. We had a vision for when this COVID was not there, we had a vision for that we will grow in medical value travel at least 13 to 14% more. But unfortunately, this COVID came and this travel was banned and we could not do much business in those days because travel and tour and travel was the most affected area. So because of that, medical value travel was also very much affected. But technology played a major role. And in this COVID era also, we were able to, consult and give consultation to our patients who are living in different countries and they wanted to get some medical advice. We were able to give them medical consultation through telemedicine. And if I talk about what is our vision because I am talking on behalf of SCPC, so I can tell you, if somebody is coming to India and he is registering himself through our portal, SCPC Healthcare Portal, he will get good hospitals which are accredited, so they will provide quality care. Plus, now hospitals has planned few new things after this COVID. Everybody knows that this emotional health is also very important, as well as physical health. So post-surgery, we have decided to create few places where after surgery, patient can stay. And with the help of devices, which are actually doing great job, that patients, all the vitals are going directly to the hospital, to the nurses and to the doctors. So patient is always monitored after surgery. So need not to stay long in the hospital so that you are scared of get some hospital acquired infection. So post surgery, you can be released from the hospital. After that, you can get total, all the measures which are supposed to take it in the hospital. You can get all the facility if you are not there. And India is a beautiful place, incredible. India is always, you have seen some advertisement of Indian beautiful places. So when patient is coming to India, we are making packages for them that after when they are perfectly fine, they are recovered from their disease, they can visit beautiful places of India. And sometimes, they need some different kind of things like some yoga, some holistic healing, some meditation. So they can get all these facility which is available only in India. I know that there are lots of other countries who are providing very good medical tourism. like Singapore, like Thailand and other countries. But I am telling you, India is a place where when you are coming to India, you are not treating as only as a patient. We are Atithi Devo Bhava. We believe that our patient is our guest and we treat them like as a guest with all love, care and personal attention. Same time, that patient who is coming to India, he is getting all these facilities also, which are he can get in form of Unani, Ayurveda, or some pranic healing, or different kind of Keral traditional therapies also. So from my, if you will permit me, I would like to say a few things about my own journey. I am suffering from some disease and I thought that I should get an opinion in US. So I visited US and I have taken appointment from very big doctor there. He was an American doctor. But when he saw all my reports and my treatment, he said, India is the best place for treatment. And Indian doctors are the best doctors. So why you are here? You go back to your country, you go back to your hospital and get your treatment there only. And as everybody knows that Indian doctors are running half of the, rather I should say 70% of the US system and UK system. So Indian doctors are the best doctors and Indian nurses are the best nurses. So please just consider India as the best medical destination for all kind of medical treatment, not only modern medicine, but for all other our traditional medicines also, because this is the origin of all these things. Whatever people are doing, they are just copying our traditional medicines and our traditional things. So please come to India, and from SCPC side, I am telling you, we are ready to help. End-to-end services we are providing from airport to hospital and hospital to airport. SCPC is always there to help all our patients. They are in safe hands. That is the commitment from SCPC side. Thank you so much, Mr. Mitra.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Those were great words. Ladies and gentlemen, last week, Government of India has announced, and we are a population of almost 1.4 billion, and we have been able to vaccinate at least 80%, which is a record in itself, 80% of our population, at least the first dosage, which is more than 100 billion dosage given, vaccines given. I think that calls for a round of applause, please. She also mentioned the need of emotional health. And emotion and emotional health, mental health is something that Ayurveda gives a lot of importance to, which brings me to my second question, which goes to Vaidya Sumit Goel Sab, who represents the Ministry of Ayush, because he's also into research, if I am not wrong, and he is joined by his colleague, Dr. Ashwini Kumar Jaiswal, who is sitting right there, who also is a research officer in Ayurveda. You are also welcome, sir. My question to you, Vaidya Sumit Goel Saab, is, with the burgeoning MVT sector, and we are almost $3 billion worth of a business pre-pandemic, Ayush and Ayurveda had a very limited role to play in taking us there to $3 billion journey. So what plan does Ministry of Ayush has to take so that when the increased pie goes up to 5 billion plus, how much of that will be contributed by Ayush, Ayurveda, and other Indian traditional system of medicines? Over to you, sir.
That pie. Ministry of Ayush is working on various aspects to cater to the medical value travel. These are various aspects which we have to look into. Like, one is regulatory part, wherein we have recently been provided Ayurveda medical treatment in India as medical visa tourist, medical visa in the category, and you can easily avail that part. Another is Ayush Export Promotion Council, which is recently being established with the support of FICCI. So this is also helping us. This is one part, regulatory part. Beside that, we are working on the standards, because if a patient from the global community wish to come to India, he will be looking for a good standard Ayush treatment in India. For that, NABH is a accreditation body in India, in which we have made standards for Ayush wellness centers and therapeutic clinics, which is being provided to all such centers. That is one. Beside that, for the entrepreneurs, we have, with the SCPC support of SCPC, we have Champion Service Sector Scheme, in which if even the foreign investor or in the Indian entrepreneur can establish Ayush Wellness Center or tertiary care center, and we will be incentivizing it through Ministry of Ayush. It is a good initiative by Ministry of Ayush for the tourism. That is one part. Beside that, we are also working with Bureau of Indian Standards to develop standards for medical value travel in Ayush systems, which will be at the level of ISO so that we can have it at the global level. That is certain parts of the global part. Beside that, what we are doing is, you must have seen that there has been a paradigm shift in health seeking trend. People earlier was going for the cure only. Now they are talking about immunity, preventive care. It is a talk, household talk now. What should be taken for the prevention? What decoction or what simple remedies we can take, which are safer to use. So this paradigm shift has been witnessed even more pronounced during this COVID time. We have seen that we had a study of around 1.35 crore people through a Sanjeevani mobile app, in which we have received of 1.35 crore response we have received. Among them, 89% people responded that yes, we have used Ayush remedies for the prevention or mitigation of COVID-19 in moderate cases or to mild cases. And 85 of that 89% have reported to strongly agreed to have been benefited with it. So this is huge. So earlier it was not there. Now we are getting a humongous response from public. People are asking for it. Like we have a certain report from America that ashwagandha, one of the major herb of India, Vidania somnifera, is among the top 5 selling herbs in America during the COVID pandemic. And likewise, we are having, we can say, very large rise in the exports of many of the Ayush medicines like Chyawanprash or Giloy, Tinospora cordifolia. Certain medicines have seen humongous rise. So these parts are there. This is one. Another is for medical value travel. We are thinking of propagating it to different countries. As Praveen Mittal sir has also explained in the earlier session that we need to go to other countries. We have to expand that. So for that, we are having, Ministry of Ayush is having country to country MU with around 25 countries and institutional level MOUs with around 32 countries. And we have also established 14 Ayush chairs in different countries. For an example, in Cuba, we are having an Ayurveda doctor treating patients there. So he's propagating about Ayurveda there. So people will be, people are coming there, and as a response, we are getting huge response in India, where we should travel in India. So he is a brand ambassador there. Likewise, in Turkmenistan, Malaysia, we are expanding, and we are keen to establish more Ayush here in different countries if they will come on board with us, because it is good. Beside that, we are extending support to facilitate students from different countries through ICCR to come and study Ayurveda in India. So they will be studying, going abroad, and they will be propagating about Ayurveda, authentic Ayurveda, because they will be getting the proper 5.5-year course, graduation course in India. That is one. Beside that, you might have heard, like my cousin is there in Germany. So people used to come to her, you are Indian, you might be aware of Ayurveda. What should we take? So she don't know where he should refer, what to do. Likewise, you might be aware that in your country also there are some centers expressing that they are teaching Ayurveda, they are teaching yoga, but we don't know the authenticity of that. So for that very purpose, Ministry of Ayush has recently launched accreditation of Ayurveda and yoga courses in global places, like in America or different countries. If they are providing some Ayurveda courses, they can come to us. We will look into their course and we will accredit that so that you can get an authentic treatment in your country also. That is important, because there, if you are getting the treatment, then you can understand the value of Ayurveda and you can come to India. So that is a propagation part. So beside that, I would also, the poster boys as explained by sir is sitting here. So I would like to suggest you also, like in telemedicine, we have a good experience during COVID. We have started a teleconsultation service wherein within 1 month we receive 1.8 calls, and we were catering to that with the help of One Step. The IVR platform was provided by One Step. Later on, we also migrated to eSanjeevani mobile app. You might be aware of that. So in that also, in support with CDEC, we are also providing our services, and it is a good experience. The challenges are, if you might be aware, in telemedicine, we need to have standardized terminology. So with collaboration of WHO, there is coding ICD-11. So in that, we have assimilated our coding in the name of Namaste, National Ayush Standardized Terminology Portal. So you can get the easily drop-down menu and you can easily select the diseases, and all these are being catered to through Ministry of Ayush by an initiative called Ayush Grid, wherein we are dedicated to give technological solutions to Ayurveda. That is another part. Third part is to showcase the strength of Ayurveda in tertiary care. For that, you might have aware that institutes of national importance like IITs are there. Likewise, the government of India has elevated Jamnagar Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda in Jamnagar to the Institute of National Importance, so that we can showcase the strength of tertiary care in Ayurveda. Likewise, we have established recently All India Institute of Ayurveda in Delhi. I welcome all. You should visit to these two places to understand how much we can provide in therapeutics beside wellness in Ayurveda. This is very good models to study and to visit. I welcome all here to that places. After that, another major thing I would like to share with you is the WHO is planning to establish a global center of traditional medicine in India, in which artificial intelligence will be one of the major objective of it. So these changes and the work we are doing toward Ayush sector, I believe this will be good enough to cater to the increasing demand of medical value travel in India in Ayush. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sumit Goel, Vaidya Sumit Goel. It was such a delight to hear that a 5,000-year-old system of medicine, Ayurveda, talks about artificial intelligence getting implanted into that system, which is just about 5 years old. So that's the combination, that's the complementary medical system that we are growing in India these days. Thank you so much, sir. For ladies and gentlemen, for all those people who think that Ayush is a word for Ayurveda, no, it is not. Only the A of Ayush represents the Ayurveda. Ayush, in fact, stands for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. So these are traditional. Yes. So it's a combination of medical systems, and that is where a Ministry of Ayush has been established to promote all the traditional medicine systems simultaneously. Obviously, Ayurveda and yoga has taken the leap growth right now. Allow me to go to Madam Shaklo Sadirova right now. Madam, for people from Uzbekistan, India has been a go-to destination for anything and everything. May you kindly suggest how we have been able to meet all your expectations, and where do you think we can still get better?
Of course. First of all, thank you very much for SCPC and FHWPI for giving us opportunity to represent Uzbekistan such a great event. India is now dubbed the preferring destination for Uzbek patients for medical tourism. Every year, thousands of people going to India for getting treatment for various diseases. The medical and surgery outcomes of medical doctors, affordable price of treatment, and arrangement of logistics are these systems making it easy to choose India for getting treatment. Also, the companies like Shinon have been very helpful for managing arrangements and logistics management in India and in Uzbekistan. But recently, there is some challenges, as Mr. Rajiv mentioned. This is the visa, this Indian visa. This is becoming much more difficult. We shared this concern to possible diplomatic channels, but problem is not solved yet. For example, there is no visa to the Turkey, and Turkish teams providing aggressively promotion for using this point is like a benefits for going to Turkey. If we will solve this problem, it would be much more easier to explaining, to showing India treatment in India in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Shaklo. Yes, we are aware that visas have been an issue, and my colleague Rajiv already put it forward to the right people in previous session. Hopefully, in next 2 to 3 months, we will be able to solve it. I know that there are a lot of backdoor discussions are already going on, and we are on the verge of getting it solved. Thank you for your comments, ma'am. I will come back to you soon. But let me take, when I said Uzbekistan, for people of Uzbekistan, India is the go-to destination for anything and everything. And in every flight, almost 50% of the people traveling to India are patients. And that I will now go to Ina, which is who represents Ukraine, which is a country which is too much in contradiction to what Uzbekistan is. Ukraine, in fact, we have been trying to promote India in Ukraine for last 4 years now, with Violeta, Igor participating in their exhibitions, meeting with so many people. Unfortunately for India, I do not know what is the problem here, but we have not been able to serve much to you guys. What do you think? Where are we lacking and how can we become better to get patients from Ukraine? Because I know a lot of them go to Turkey. And my dear poster boys, please do consider her advice because we are going to need it.
Thank you, dear Abhik, and thank you for invitation once again. Yes, that is really a good destination for patients. India is well known, but what I would say regarding Ukraine, because I'm speak of Ukraine now, there is some kind of stigma in Ukraine about India. India is a very good country for tourism. That's beautiful, that's historical, and and even Ayurveda or other natural medicine, traditional medicine is well known in Ukraine. And people go to India mostly for relax, for tourism, for Goa, for Kerala, and all the places are very well known. We have packages from touristic companies who sell it, and it's well sold. But for treatment, there is a stigma, even for vaccine. I do remember time when COVID started and vaccine appeared, and India was one of the first countries who actually started to sell this vaccine, and it was Covishield, and I have Covishield vaccine personally, and it's been a stigma, and our people didn't want even to get the shot because it's Indian. I can't say why the stigma exists in Ukraine, but it is true. So, and we speak with Abhik many times and with other Indian colleagues about promoting India as a medical tourism destination. And first, we need to break this stigma. Okay, let's call it like this. Because I do remember when Turkey appeared on the market on Ukraine 10 years ago, it was very aggressive marketing. And it was the same story. Turkey was known only with its touristic, all-inclusive service. No one could imagine that Turkey can treat. It was 10 years ago. And what we see now, 95% of our patients go there. Of course, no visa, but we don't need, it's not difficult to get Indian visa for Ukrainians. It's just e-visa and just one click. But still, and the price is still competitive. Comparing to Turkey, the price is very good. But I think the reason it's only about this situation, about mental of our people. And what I would say else, that not only vaccine and all these pharmaceutical productions, but also about technologies. India is very well known about technologies, but I know this and professionals know this. But of course we can explain our patient that India is a very good destination, but still the final decision is on the patient, and patient decide whether to go or not to go to India. And unfortunately, or maybe it's luckily for Turkey, this destination is more appropriate. So I think it must be, I don't say it's aggressive, but it must be marketing built on total promotion of the country. And you guys have to split together, come together with hospitals and all the association. You have plenty of them, and it's very good. And you can cooperate together, which is very good also. So, and it must be very good promotion company around the country within, like the most way of impact to people's mind. It's TV, still, it's digital, internet. I know very good cases, and Abhik shared it sometimes, and other NVIDIA shared sometimes, very good cases about treatment in India, very rare treatment, very specific treatment, transplant and bone marrow transplant and other things. So it's needed to be delivered to Ukrainian, not patients, even people like worldwide. and it will change the story on the contrary. So I think the best way is to promote completely all the service altogether on TV, on digital market, even maybe to arrange some show like when COVID, all these things have finished and we can start normally life again. We can think about some kind of promoting campaign. I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Ina. I hope my colleagues from SCPC, Mr. Vaibhav, and my colleagues from FICCI, Mr. Ishan Pandita, have heard what Ina has said. We have our task cut out in Ukraine. It's a huge market, and we don't get to have much from coming in from there. And the only thing that she told was the perception, if I'm not wrong, that the perception of India as an IT destination is there. Perception of India as an alternate medicine destination is there. It's a very good tourist place. People go to Goa every winters. That is there. Somehow we are not able to get patients because that part of medical part, that vision, that view, that perception we need to build. So the poster boy is sitting here and the medical value travel fraternity from India would seek your support so that we can together build that perception in Ukraine. With that, I will come down to Mr. Ishan Dodiwala, who is one of the latest entrants into the medical value travel. He's the founder of Midjourn, and Ishan has been a technology buff himself. Midjourn has been one of the latest players in the industry, but your entry was also marred with the entry of COVID. Did you bring it here? Okay, but you still managed to grow within these 2 years fabulously well. Congratulations. The technology has a major role to play in this growth of yours. That is what we would like to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Abik, for the introduction, and thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure representing Medijan and also the Apollo Group. It has been a long journey the last 2 years.
You need to first answer the first question. Did you bring the COVID?
No, not at all. I hope not. No, but COVID has taught the world a lot. It's taught the way people live. We adapt and evolve with it. And so for us, change is the only constant with COVID. I think every day there's something new that is evolving, and we get used to living with it. And like you said, fortunately or unfortunately for us, we started our journey in this industry at the same time. There have been advantages and disadvantages, obviously, of both. But one of the first few things that we did as a company, one of the first few pre-revenue investments we made was to build a technology solution, which is in the form of a robust and customized ERP, which helps facilitate, say, the information that passes along. That was always a big challenge, and there was a lot of things that would be missed out, lost in translation, lost in an email inbox somewhere. So putting together a system that kind of encapsulated everything and delivered it to the right stakeholders was very key. So we have a similar solution now where people from around the world can post a query on, and partners around the world can post a query on for us to help give you doctor opinions, give you answers from the doctor, and obviously eventually as a second step even do the telemedicine side of things. So I think in the first session we were talking about it. Telemedicine is something which is very, very crucial and important in this day and age. And having the doctor speak to the patient wins out, would say 80% of the battle. The patient gets convinced, they get satisfied that this person is going to take care of me. So all of this needs to be linked together in a well-developed technology platform, because again, COVID doesn't allow us to travel, and you can't always depend on either the doctor or the patient coming to our country. So all of these are starts, I would say, which kind of guide us to the path of bringing people to India and having them come here and get treated. So it kind of helped us create a lot of value, operational independence, and it also did change and shake up the traditional, say, initial like predominant practices in the industry. So these are, I would say, good steps that we've encountered and seen. But just to come back to the question that you have, the traditional form of communication, which was the case in the medical value travel industry, will always remain. The first point of contact will always remain the most important. But with the use of technology, it makes it a lot more efficient and will help bridge the gap far better.
Thank you, Ishan. It was a welcome to note that you did not bring the COVID in. I in particular still belong to those section of people who, even if they have their e-commerce app built into their phone, I will still go to a shop, feel the fabric, and then buy the clothes. But we have this person, Danish in green shirt, who belongs to an e-commerce background. He has built 2 apps before and sold out to some e-commerce giants, which he will explain how he did it. But now he is now building something in medical value travel for past 4 years. Danish, I would like to ask you how your journey has been different, given that you belong to an e-commerce background which uses machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all those words that I don't understand so much. Okay, but in medical value travel, this has just made an entry. So how your journey has been different from previous, before medical value travel, and now that you are trying to embark a journey, which you have begun fabulously well by getting, we can all congratulate him. He got a $3.5 million worth of VC investment just last week. Congratulations, Danish. So you would like to say something?
Yeah, so thank you, Abhik. Very privileged to be in this audience. So e-commerce is, it's driven by technology. But when we started medical travel, and the first inspiration to actually get into medical travel was to build a tech-first, medical travel company, which is able to manage very, very large scale. Our aspiration is, to reach 100,000 patients a year. And serve them, and even more in other verticals that we are now establishing. And you cannot do that without technology. So over the last 2-3 years, we've spent almost $500,000 building the technology, and that is now the backbone of our company. We've got over 450 partners in 30 countries, sending us medical reports for hundreds of patients every day. We are working with 110 hospitals across 4 countries. So that scale is only possible if you have technology. You cannot really build that scale of business on WhatsApp or Excel beyond a certain point of time. And which is why, when ManyJourn started with Apollo, one of the first investments they made was on technology, because managing scale is not possible without technology. And now we've got, we are still hiring people on tech. We are still, trying to really catch up on all the stuff that needs to be built, whether it's telemedicine, medicine delivery, other aspects that we are building on our patient app, our partners app, the backend panel. So it brings a lot of transparency, it brings a lot of control, it brings a lot of scalability to the entire business. Even if we have, we've had about 600 patients in a month at some point of time pre-COVID, and even then it was a seamless experience managing all those patients, getting all the reports and everything done quickly. From that, so we are building technology first to really manage the scale. In medical travel, I think technology is a very, very big enabler, and it will only grow in the future. If some of the people here attended Arab Health, they would have seen the real impact of virtual reality and how that is shaping up. We are entering into an era of metaverse. Blockchain has become a common household name. How will those aspects become part of the medical travel industry? They definitely will. And we are building solutions on that direction. So that is where the world is heading. Artificial intelligence, the ability to actually, answer 95% of a patient's query without a human intervention at all is possible now. Systems can, ask you questions, symptoms, and give you, tell you what your disease is for 95% of the cases. Where we don't even need a doctor. Telesurgery is happening. It's going to happen. I've been in discussions with people yesterday, surgical equipment companies that are going to disrupt medical tourism all over. You'll have a surgeon in India operating on a patient in Nigeria without anybody traveling. So that's not too far away. And that's the future that is coming in.
Wow. I heard somewhere future is here already. Okay. So the usage of technology in medical value travel, the way I understood what Danish is saying, when we use systems like artificial intelligence, where we can predict who is going to travel, when he is going to travel, what will be required for him. Like he said, that 85% of the questions can be answered by the machine himself by the way of interaction. It's something very, very huge. And the patient may not actually need to travel in times to come. And doctors sitting in India can use a robot and a machine to operate where he is. That's the future of medical value travel. Ladies and gentlemen, for all those people who are old enough, like I am, let's get to learn all these things, because that will be required in future. Thank you, Danish. Which brings me to my old friend, not because he has got white beard, because I know him for so long now, and he belongs to the era I belong to. So let me go back to him traditionally and ask him a traditional medicine question. Rajiv, what do you think? What role do you think Ayurveda and alternate medicine can play in the growth of medical value travel? And the Ayurveda sector has been trying, but unfortunately has not been able to gain speed. What will be your suggestion, which Mr. In fact, Vaidya Sumit can carry to the Ministry of Ayush, can help the government's intervention in promoting Ayurveda?
So first of all, thank you so much, Abhik. Yes, we are old pals. And again, same tradition.
Yeah.
I agree with Danish. I agree with Ishan in terms of artificial intelligence and the technology, which is playing a major role and will play a major role in the next years for the medical value travel. However, still, I believe when a patient wants to do especially a surgery, as you said, you are like from old age, you go, you still feel the factors, check things. A patient who needs to go for a liver transplant or a kidney transplant or a knee replacement, he would like to meet the doctor, discuss how he will feel after the surgery, what are the complications after, like, let's say orthopedic surgery, how soon he can start walking, standing, how long he needs the help. I understand artificial intelligence technology might help, but human touch is always required for humans to understand better. So this is what I wanted to add on into and relates to Ayurveda and alternative medicine. It's already there in our system for a longer period. I would say the way we are doing, we need to collaborate with the medical value travel companies, educate them in a right way, the way allopathic is doing seminars, discussions, how we can take this industry further, how we can collaborate to bring the patient. Okay, for example, if we are a medical value travel company, we bring patients. Till date, it's almost 12 years I'm into this industry, treated more than 100,000 patients, offices in most of the countries where we source from the patients coming to India, now to Dubai and Turkey. Ayurveda, what they will put on the table for us to bring the patients to our country, and what is the cost to it? Benefits we know, because from the old age, our ancestors, our grandparents, they used it. I also use it, Ayurveda. Benefits are there, but we really don't know the cost. We really don't know the benefits for the industry. This is what my take is.
Thank you, Rajiv. In fact, that's a very important thing, with Sumit Goyal, that we being Indians, and with even Indians yet to completely accept Ayurveda and its benefit, how do we expect? Because the fact is people don't know, and they don't know not because they don't want to know, but because the competitive medical systems, which is allopathy and other systems, they barge into our doors so much that there is no space left for Ayurveda. How do you think we can create that perception, that knowledge base in the masses for Ayurveda?
This is an important question actually, because what is a popular belief among public is, as we have discussed in earlier panelists was also mentioning, two challenges are there about the perception. One is we used to call it many a times alternative. Whenever we call it alternative, then we won't seek it as a primary care. So that need to change, as sir has also mentioned, that it is a traditional system. Another challenge is about the market. The industries, sir is saying that large industry, big industries are not into the Ayush sector. In past, it was not there. And ministry was also not there before 2014. Ayush was not that much seriously taken. But after 2014, when it is escalated to the ministry, full-fledged ministry, thereafter, we are taking it seriously. Big players are gradually coming. If we can say that Ayurveda or herbal sectors are being incorporated in many major companies, FMCGs also, and many pharma sector is taking Ayurveda as a subsector into their company. That is one thing. And beside that, what is that in public health, we have to develop a perception that it is safe. As I have mentioned during the COVID-19, 1.35 crore public has given the response. Among that, 89% were using. So there is a change, but we have to cater to it. We have to bring large players, industries, so that it can be further escalated. That is a challenge, I know. But what we are doing as a part of ministry is we have introduced National Ayush Mission. Under that, we are providing different kind of initiatives into public health for therapeutics, like Supraja for mother and child health. We are working on for the nutrition. We are working on. There is a very large scheme Ministry of WCD is rolling out very soon. That is Poshan Abhiyan 2.0, wherein Ayurveda will be a major part. We will be fortifying with Ayurveda things to the ration. Take home ration is a thing in which we will be fortifying our things. That is one part. Another, what I was mentioning is a popular belief of it is just wellness. It is true, Ayurveda can cater to wellness, but it is just 10% of Ayurveda. 90% is serious therapeutic intervention, and that need to be propagated. For that, we are working strenuously on the research and evidence part. What we are doing is we are extending support through Center of Excellence to any R&D facility. If the industry wish to come to Ayurveda, we will be providing all the facilities through Center of Excellence. To good amount of good money we can provide for establishment of labs also, so that they can go into R&D of any Ayurveda product, research it, market it. We are also working with US FDA so that we can get approval of Ayurveda medicines there.
Whether sir, I like to keep it short because we are running short of time.
Certainly, then I'll be shorting it out.
Yeah.
That there is the challenge. Certainly, I accept it that big industries are not there, and we have to bring them on board. For that, I have mentioned Center of Excellence. We are extending support through that. And beside that, many public health initiatives we are starting. Of course, because of COVID, it was delayed. But now you will be seeing many public health initiatives into the therapeutics of Ayurveda, which I believe will certainly be providing more focus into therapeutics, and public will be coming toward it. Certainly.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me tell you an incident that happened just 2 months ago. There was this patient, 72 years old, with a complete kidney failure. He was 72 years old, and obviously a donation for him was difficult. Also, all the siblings, they were all dead already. And the children, they were also like 40, 45, 46. They were not suitable donors also. The guy, his name was George Kiyoko. He came to Jivagram, one of our Ayurveda centers there, with a complete kidney failure. 5 weeks on, when he went on back to Kenya, his creatinine level were normal. 10 weeks, when he sent me his reports from Kenya, his doctor there, the nephrologist, he was flabbergasted that his kidney was back to normal. That is the power of Ayurveda, even for a transplant patient who was dedicated for a transplant, could not go through a transplant, went through an Ayurveda therapy, and his kidneys are doing absolutely fine. That's the power of Ayurveda, sir. That brings me to Rajiv. I'm coming to you. Thank you. Madam Shaklo, I know that from Uzbekistan, a lot of patients come for transplants, especially liver transplant. Do you think that we have been able to tell to people in Uzbek that we are good at transplant, but we have failed to tell people that we are also good at Ayurveda, or people should come for Ayurveda? Is there an opportunity for us to promote Ayurveda in Uzbekistan?
Yes, really, a lot of Uzbek patients going to India for getting liver transplant because efficacy is very high, mortality rate is very low, and affordability of cost is very affordable. That is why Uzbek doctors and Uzbek patients choosing India. And about Ayurveda, I cannot say about this. I don't have an idea. We have to.
So I'll pass this question on to Rajiv in that case. Rajiv, can you help Madam Shaklo answer this question?
I'll answer the previous. I can answer.
We'll come to you, sir. When let Rajiv, you were saying something.
I was saying something. We'll come to you. Just give it. So, see, Abhik, I would like to ask you something. You said one patient from Kenya wanted, like, he was ready for a kidney transplant, couldn't find the donor, kids were not around. So finally, why he chose Ayurveda? Because there was no hope, right?
There was no hope, absolutely.
So
we are getting leftovers.
Exactly. This is my point is, you are getting it the right. So this is the spot what I'm talking about. Other person who's going for a heart transplant couldn't go for it. He chose for Ayurveda. So what is going on right now?
We are getting the leftovers.
No, it's not about getting the leftovers. So I will go back to the question or the answer which Ina was saying, that there is a stigma in Ukraine. So I'll add on these two things together. Ayurvedic treatment, alternative treatment, only we decide, or patients are deciding when there is no hope in allopathic. So the education system towards this has to be corrected. Okay. Right education, okay, fine. Kidney transplant is there. Why don't we try for Ayurveda first? If it's not happening, then we go for a transplant.
Thank you,
so
Rajiv.
This is for the Ayush Ministry to work on.
Thank you, Rajiv. The man of IT, how do you think IT can bridge this gap of knowledge between people who don't know about Ayurveda and people who know Ayurveda?
So I don't know too much about Ayurveda. So I will actually ask you, how much of this could be transmitted and communicated on a teleconsult versus a physical consult? Could you answer that?
Yes, please.
Actually, this is a very relevant question, because when the patient is coming after losing all hopes to Ayurveda, he has taken bunch of steroids and all, it is very tough to treat. It is just a miracle which you have mentioned. I cannot say it is because of Ayurveda, because it's seriously, because if we go for proper research, then it should be some rationale. And for that, I believe if we can cater to telemedicine, authentic Ayurveda doctors can bring on board. And in global, say in somebody sitting in Seychelles or in USA, he's feeling a trouble in gastric trouble or early stage of disease, cold, and he can log into a telemedicine, get an authentic Ayurveda doctor, 5.5-year degree it is, an authentic person to address his solutions in the best remedies, home kitchen, simple herbs or simple medications or lifestyle measures. I think that primary level of treatment cater will be necessary so that people can understand, yes, this is Ayurveda. Later on, if bad luck is there, it is aggravating, then we can go to secondarily to the allopathy, or he can, if she is benefiting or he is benefiting, he can come to India also to get better treatment in the establishment or tertiary care. I believe that is the point we have to focus on, and entrepreneurs need to take it up.
No, definitely.
Thank you. I will have to cut you short. We are running short of time. My last question to Ishan, please. Ishan, where when we see that a large part of the medical value traveler, the patient himself, is at the other side of the age, who are not so much internet savvy. And a very large part of that population comes from Africa, where getting getting the right internet connection itself is a problem. How do you think technology can still play an important part in getting to promote medical value travel in those sections of society?
So Abhika, how I'd like to answer that is the entire discussion that we've had today is about looking forward with, say, AI and predictive analysis. At the same time, we're talking about Ayush, which is a centuries old form of medicine that we're talking about. So there needs to be a hybrid synergy that needs to be found. So even for, say, technology to play a key role, I understand what you're saying. In certain countries, internet connectivity is poor, and at the same time, there are people who are quite old and they're not very tech savvy. They will need that help. So this is where I feel, we have centers of information centers in Africa that Apollo has. We have offices in Bangladesh. We have different offices around these places. Those can be the first level of
So you agree
introduction.
that technology will still be having a limited role to play for those section of society?
No, I would say so. You come to that office, you have a little bit of, communication with the doctor, initial level of communication. Coming back to my point earlier, even if he's in front of a screen, speaking to the doctor, be it an Ayurveda doctor or any allopathy doctor, the minute the patient speaks to the doctor, that relieves a lot of their stresses and tensions. So now if a patient who's maybe 75 years old can't make the trip from, say, Africa to India, the first level can be done over telemedicine. And then once the doctor understands the case better, knows what's the course of treatment, then we kind of get them to come. So it has to be a hybrid synergy. That can be your starting point, and then you take it from there.
Thank you, Ishan. The lady from there got up to say, you are speaking too much, cut it short. Okay, and that's not me, that's her.
No
So because we are running 41 minutes late by now, we were supposed to finish it much earlier. Dear audiences, if you have any questions, any comments in the, okay, so we have some. Okay, very short questions and very short answers, dear panelists. Please, quickly. Very short one, please.
This is Dr. Mukhtiar. I have a small hospital in Tajikistan, and it's near to Uzbekistan. So we are doing Ayurvedic camps, and we are getting very big benefits to spine patients, kidney stone patients, and Sirodhara for stress and anxiety. So even I'm not sure why Uzbek people not going to India, but they are coming to Tajikistan for getting Ayurvedic treatment in my hospital.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Mukhtar. Thank you for that.
Just a minute. In fact, he has not told the real story of asking this question, or giving his, experience. He wants that clinic should come under the purview of Ayush, recognized by Ayush Ministry, and he wants to do wonders in Tajikistan. That is what his aim is. Even is in Uzbekistan also.
Just we should to promote Ayush.
Sir, I've mentioned that Ministry of Ayush has started accreditation of Ayurveda institutions and centers abroad. So you can approach to us through Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapit, RAV, which is working on it. Though you can connect with us.
I visited Indian Embassy. They want to do this.
Certainly, you can connect to Ministry of Ayush.
All right, so you can connect to Ministry of Ayush. Quickly, we go to Violeta, who had a question. I'm coming to you, Dhruv. After Violeta,
hello, everyone. My name is Violeta Yanushevskaya. I'm chairman of Ukrainian Association of Medical Tourism. Thank you for interesting discussion, and I would like to add about uniqueness, which are the most important things, factor for development of some direction. If, for example, India would like to be the well known in Ukrainian or other markets, of course, you need to find some uniqueness. And I think during many years, some transplantation, organ transplantation was like the uniqueness of India. But after your participation in Ukraine, in our biggest event, Tech Kiev, legislation, unfortunately, for some organ transplantation changed in India. You know about it. And unfortunately, many Ukrainians did not have a chance to have such a treatment. So it one uniqueness which you lost, unfortunately. And other, of course, Ayurveda, we talk about many about Ayurveda. Ayurveda is one of the ancient direction for the treatment, for the healing of the people. And when we discussed in your event of Ayurveda 1 year ago, of course, we understood more deeply for necessary to conduct some trials for treatment and for promotion. So I wish you to be more active in our markets, not only in Ukraine, but in CIS for promotion of this uniqueness for India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Violet. I completely relate with you. Dhruv, you're next. Keep it short, please.
We have a question here as well.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dhruv from India. I'm an FSWBI member. I have a question from Danish, since he is the flag bearer of technology in this on this podium. I have secured my funding. So basically, Danish, my question is that artificial intelligence, machine learning is part of our daily life. We are talking already in the world of Meta. Do you think that the human touch, the personal look and feel, the technology will completely replace it, or the personal touch of the healthcare will always have its leverage over the technology?
Hello. Yeah, so human touch cannot be replaced, which is where the whole travel angle will continue to be there. But there will be a lot of diagnostic ability that will come into place. Our ability to assess the patient and direct him to the right surgeon will improve significantly. And if I think only when telesurgery comes into place, on which NASA is working very aggressively, then we'll have surgeons. Patients will not need to travel. There will still be a human touch, but it will probably be a Nigerian surgeon working with an Indian surgeon to do a surgery there itself. Maybe 6-7 years down the line, not too far away though. But the human touch cannot be taken out of medicine. It is critical to medicine.
It is the part.
No doubt about it.
Okay, we go on to next one there. Very quickly and very short, kindly.
Okay.
And did you have one? No, done? Oh.
Hello everyone, I'm Chandan Agrawal from Healthy Planet Life Sciences Private Limited. As an Indian, as the question being raised in the forum that why Ayurveda is not so famous. So what I feel is I just need to put a suggestion that the patient is very confused. When you talk about Ayurveda and you talk about liver transplant, okay, the patient is completely confused. So we need to educate the exact purpose of Ayurveda, because Ayurveda was invented like thousands of years before. At that time, this liver transplant, this cancer, this brain tumor, all those critical diseases were not existent. And allopathy has we been practice since last few hundred of years. And like for that, the current, all the diseases, the critical diseases, we are having allopathy. So we need to educate that for the critical and the disaster situation, the very critical condition of the patient, we need to go for allopathy. And for when it comes for Ayurveda, we need to educate the patient about the purpose. That for this, we need to make a list that these particular diseases are going to be treated by Ayurveda completely, and then we cannot completely substitute.
Thank you.
Allopathy.
I completely get you that we have to create a demarcation between what can be done and what cannot be. But let me tell you, even those thousands of years ago, the surgeries and those diseases were there. Ayurveda was treating it, and one of the sections of Ayurveda is Shalya Chikitsa, and we were doing surgeries even that 3,600 years ago. Shushrut was the first surgeon. Okay, let's continue, sir. Dr. Sunny.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time and coming here.
Yeah, good
we
afternoon.
are so very grateful for you, sir.
Thank you. So it's just a comment, and it's addressed to Vaid Sumit. I think part of it is already mentioned by him. I think the illustrious and elite people sitting on this thing, you have to give a thought. I'm an allopathic practitioner. I've been in this country for 3 decades. This is my 4th decade. So I have this point that when I'm an allopath, but I believe in Ayurveda. So what's happened is everyone, when you have this milieu, which is dominated by allopaths, we guys. So how we knock down traditional medicine is, where is the evidence? So I think Ayush has to take it up to see, because you cannot mix apples with oranges. So the apple has gone far ahead and saying that they are the best. So it answers many of the questions. What happens is that I think the way forward post-COVID is to promote traditional medicine, because I myself take traditional medicine as a prevention for COVID. If I tell my colleagues who practice allopathic medicine, they're going to say, where's your evidence? You're taking some hocus pocus. So it's time. So I think you have to be reactive and very proactive than being reactive. Because what Ayush does is, we are going to fund any industry. That doesn't happen. So you have to take the initiative and say, do research on these subjects, because I also don't agree that Ayush or Ayurveda should be a first choice. Not when this one, see, like you said, surgery was done thousands of years back. And where have we gone back? We have not gone to our old granthas. We have not, gone through that and made research in that. We are just laid back and made the big pharma and the allopathic people take over traditional medicine. This is the point I just wanted to make.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sani. Point very well noted.
This is my favorite topic, but it would require
I know
a lot
you
of
are in
time.
research, sir, but we are running extremely short of time. But Dr. Sani, your point well taken. You can talk later on. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we have spoken about alternate medicine, technology, and everything else. What FHWP, FICCI, and SCPC plan for you to do next is take you to Tinder days. You know what Tinder is. Okay, it's a dating app. So what we plan to do was to do a very fast B2B kind of an activity, much on likes of speed dating, where some of the foreign delegates who have been invited can take tables, 4 on one table. And my Indian colleagues are going to come here, and I'm going to give 5 minutes to each to go on to each table, present yourself on what you do. And then at 1:30 sharp, we break for lunch and the expo visit. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have to leave by 3:30 because we have to go to Taj Jumeirah, where the award ceremony begins at 5. So we have to leave this place by 3:30. I want to free you guys at 1:30 so that you can visit the wonderful pavilion that we have built here. I know a lot of you are excited already, but we have to do this B2B activity also, because people have spent time, people have spent energy, money to be here. So dear all foreign delegates, if I may kindly request you to sit on 4 on every table. Dear Indian participants, you can all come here, please, on this side so that I can assign you your numbers. Mihir, I would request your help on this, please. On the round tables, we will do it. Dear photographer, do we have, by the time they arrange, do we have a photographer who can take a picture? Okay, please. Okay, Ishanji, is Ishanji around? Yeah, he's around. Ishanji, can we please have you on stage? This photograph can never be complete without you. All the foreign delegates who can come here, please. Oh, first Indian delegates and then foreign delegates also. Come. In fact, if I can request Ina and Madam Shakla to be in the center, both the ladies, we can shift this table a little back. Okay.
Avik, you are supposed to involve me also, include me.
Please, oh yes, can we have a full screen? Can we have a full screen, please? The tech guy behind, where is the technology guys? Can we have a full screen of Madam Upasana Arora, please? Getting it done, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for joining the session.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we are there. Now we are complete. All right.
Thank you. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Okay. Can we have all the people who who have taken the time out to travel from different countries to make it here to come on stage so that we can have a group picture. Dr. Suhail, Madam Mrs. Suhail, please. Yeah, yeah.